Okay? Let's see what those two problems are going to look like. Here we go. So there's a practice quiz on the front and on the back. We're going to do them both.
Well, I've never seen someone grab this.
All right, are we ready? Everybody got one? You guys? Okay, so we're on the side that says practice quiz 5.5 and it has a heart. We need our calculators. So here's our triangle.
I'm just gonna show you.
Alright, our job is to fill in those blanks. So we need to find angle S. That's big S, angle S. Can we find angle S, do you think?
Yeah.
Everybody should be able to find angle S because we know the angles of a triangle add up to 180. So we've got a 53 and a 62. So this guy must be 65?
Yeah.
So in the big S blank, that means angle S, big capital letter, angle S, we're gonna put 65. Everybody with me so far? Okay. Now, my beady little eyes are gonna focus right here. Because I have angle C and I have side C. Do you see I don't have any other pairs? I have H, but I don't have side H. I have S, but I don't have side S. So this is where I start, the one that I have a match for. So sine 53 over 14 equals, and now I just pick one. So what do you want to pick? H. So sine 62 over H. Now remember, you're going to do it both of them. So if you did sine 53 over 14 equals sine 65 over S, it's okay because we have to do both of them. We are going to do both of those operations. All right, are you with me here? Okay, so what do we do? Cross multiply. So if I'm doing this one, H sine 53 equals 14 sine 62. So H times sine 53 equals 14 times sine 62. And then what? Divide by sine 53 because we are trying to figure out what H is. So then I go to my calculator. 14 sine 62, and what am I always harping at you about? Close the parentheses. Divided by sine 53. What was that? H. For little h, did you get 15.48? That's little h. Remember, little or lowercase letters are sides. That's side h. All right, then we repeat the exact process for side s. So we're using 65. So cross multiply. And divide by sine 53. All right, did everybody follow that? Did I do that too quickly? So 14 sine 65 close parentheses divided by sine 53. 15.89. You're gonna fill in the blanks on the paper. So, big H, or excuse me, big S. Big S was 65. Little h was 15.48 and little s was 15.89. Okay? Second problem. How many triangles are possible? Now, what are the answer is either going to be what? Who remembers? The answer is going to be 0, 1, or 2, right? And we will know right away if it's 0 because what happens? I get an error on my calculator, right? So let's get it set up, type it in, and see what we get. We are going to set this problem up exactly the same way. Okay? We're going to set it up exactly the same way. So when I wrote down this problem, I immediately noticed this right here. I need everybody to see that. These are incomplete, and these are incomplete. So here we go. Sine 63 over 15 equals what? What am I going to do now? Sine 50 or 63 over 15 equals sine k over 14. Everybody good with that? All right, so here we go. 15 sine k equals 14 sine 63. Now I'm going to divide, just like I did in the last problem. What am I dividing by though? I'm dividing by 15. This is inseparable. Don't try to divide by anything except 15. We're going to divide by 15. So now it says sine k equals 14 sine 63 over 15. I'm trying to find angle K. I'm trying to find an angle. How do I type that in on my calculator if I'm trying to find an angle? Second. So I'm going to do second sine this big fraction. And if it says error, then I'm done. If not, I have more work to do. So second sine, 14 sine 63 close parentheses divided by 15. It didn't say error. I got 56.26. Adam, you get that?
Yeah, I already had.
You already had it? So what does that mean? Remember, what's the question? How many triangles are possible? So it means there's at least one. Now I gotta check, is there a second one? And remember, if there is a second one, this angle K right here, this angle right here, K. Remember, angle L is 63. That's done. If there's a second one, it will be 180 minus the first one. So what is 180 minus the first one? 123.74. So if there is a second one, it's 123. Now you guys shaking his head no. Because if this one's 63, can that one be 123? No. Because wouldn't that make more than 180? So if there's a second one, it has to be 123. It can't be 123, so therefore there is only one answer. that one right there. Okay, now if this had come out to be like 103, then it would be okay and there would be two answers. All right, turn it over and do it again. Take a minute while I'm getting it all copied down. See if you can get problem 1 started. This one, I don't have the sides labeled on. Remember, if this is angle A, this is side A, right? That's how they're labeled. So that's side A, this is side C. Did you find angle C?
Yeah.
And for angle C, did you get 47? That's big C. We okay with that?
Yeah.
Now, you're gonna set up your law of signs. I hope you notice, this time, here's your pair, did you notice that? When you set up your law of signs, you are going to start with a fraction that you know. You do not know side A. You can't do this fraction. At least not first. So sine 70 over 16. Now, if you want to say sine 63 over A, that's okay. You have to have this complete fraction to get started. And you're going to do it twice. That's going to be the second one. Are you okay? Do that? All right, here we go. Cross multiply. 16 sine 63 equals A sine 70. 16 sine 63 equals A sine 70. What do we divide by? Yep, after we cross multiply, we always divide. We're going to divide by sine 70. And side A did you get 15.17 for side A? Yeah. Perfect. Anybody have a question about that? Tomorrow you're going to do this. All right, then we got to find the other one. So we'll go back to sine 70 over 16. Now we'll do sine 47 over C. So we cross multiply. And divide by sine 70. What'd you get? 12.45, that's what I got too. Okay, anybody have an issue with problem number 1? everybody ready to do that by yourselves tomorrow? All right, let's look at problem number 2. It's a little bit trickier. You can't get credit if you just guess. You've got to show some work. So let's see, what kind of work are we gonna show? See this right here? That's my starting spot. So sine 58 over 16 equals what? What am I gonna set that equal to?
Sine B over
Sine B over 13. You can't set it equal to sine C over C because you don't know either one of those. You gotta go with B, because you know 13. All right, so 16 sine B equals 13 sine 58. And then what do I divide by?
16.
Just 16, very good. And then, because I'm looking for an angle, I'm not just gonna type it in, I'm going to have to second sign it, inverse sign it. So, second sign, 13 sine 58, close parentheses, divided by 16. I got an answer, did you? I got 43.55. So then where do I go? What is my next step? I have one more step.
Subtract that from 180.
I have to figure out if the second triangle would work. So the given angle is 58. If the second angle is going to work, it's 180 minus 43.55. So 180 minus, I got 136.45. Trey's saying, nope, not gonna work because those two make more than 180. So again, let's say this first angle had been 28. Then would I be okay? That would have two answers. But the way it was, that one didn't work, so there's only one triangle possible. Okay? Now, you got lots of problems in your notes, and you've got 2 of each here. So if you want to practice, you can recopy the problem on another sheet of paper and practice again on your own. That will be our quiz tomorrow. 2 problems. 2 problems tomorrow. Okay. Let's get our notes back out. And let's see what's next. I am on my notes, 5.6, which is on the back of page 41. And I am solving this triangle. Now, what does that mean again when we solve a triangle? It means we find everything that is missing. So what's missing in this triangle? I don't know angle Q,
Sine.
I don't know angle R, and I don't know side P. All right, so we're kind of used to this. We're gonna set up our law signs and see what happens, right? Does anyone notice anything about this problem though? There's no set. If you are gonna do the law of signs, remember I've been kind of telling you that. If you're gonna do the law of signs, you have to have a pair. You have to be able to say sine 58 over something, or sine this over this. You see what's gonna happen, kids? Don't write this down, just look. If I try to use my law of signs, and it's absolutely valid, the problem is you can't solve it. You see how you can't solve it? Because how many variables are there in that set of fractions there? 2? Can't solve it. Can't solve it. There are 2 variables in the wrong spaces. So, oh my gosh, the law of signs doesn't work. Never fear, there's a law of cosines. Now, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna think, oh, it's so scary, but you'll get used to it, trust me, you'll get used to it. The law of cosines looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and set it up for you, so I do want you to write this down and then we're gonna talk about it. It says p squared equals 10 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 10 times 13 times cosine 58. Now I know you're freaking out. Write that down. Chase. Get with the program here, man. Yeah. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Now, we're gonna type that in on our calculator, it's gonna be easy to do, but I want you to get a sense of, first of all, why am I not using the law of signs? Because I don't have a set, right? Done. Gotta have a set, you're gonna use the law of signs. If you don't have a set, you're gonna have to use the law of cosines, okay? Now, with the law of cosines, identify your angle. Here's the only angle I know, right? This is it, the only angle I know. Cosine of that angle goes on this end of the problem. So the only angle I have is 58, so cosine 58. The other end of the problem, all over here, all by himself, there's only one thing on this side of the equal sign. And it is the side across from your 58. So that's why I have p squared there. Now what's all the stuff in the middle? Well, look what I've got here. I've got that side squared, that side squared, 2, that's in the formula, that will always be a 2, times those 2 sides. You'll get it, trust me. The law of cosines, it looks scary, but it's very easy. But that's how it works. We're gonna try it again in another problem. That's how it works.
Will the 2 always be negative?
What?
Will the 2 always be negative?
Always minus. So it's squared plus squared minus 2 times, yep, always, that's the formula. Okay, so just for fun, you don't have to write this down. Let me make another one. Let's say triangle ABC. And let's say, I know this is 12, and this is 10, and this is 62. Could you set up the law of cosines for that? Well, your angle is 62. So at this end, we're gonna have cosine 62. At the other end of the equation, over here all by itself, you're gonna have c squared. Now, what are you gonna have in that middle part? You're gonna have this side squared plus this side squared.
Does it matter which one is
Nope.
first?
Minus 2 times those 2 things times each other. And there it is, that's all there is to it. I'm gonna write the law of cosines down for you so that you can add it to your reference sheet if you want, but the problem is, the letters aren't always gonna be the same, so I'm just gonna make up some letters, but you're gonna have to figure out, like this one's PQR, this one's ABC, the next one might be LKF, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to figure that pattern out. That's why I always say, memorize the pattern, not the letters. Anyway, here's what it looks like. If our triangle is XYZ, law cosines is gonna say x squared equals y squared plus z squared minus 2yz cosine x. So if you wanna have something to write down, that would be the law of cosines, but beware, your triangle isn't usually gonna be x, y, z, it's usually gonna be some other combination of letters, but that's the formula. Okay. You can add that to your reference sheet. All right. Notice this is a big X, that's the angle, right? Big letters are angles. Okay, now, back to our problem that we're solving here. I'm gonna go to my calculator now, and I'm gonna type this in. Okay, so everybody do it with me. 10 squared, you have a squared button, use it. So 10 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 10 times 13 times cosine 58 equals. Do not hit equals until you got it all typed in. Just type it in. Just like I said it out loud, that's how you type it in. 10 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 10 times 13 times cosine 58. Now be careful. Did you get 131?
Yeah.
Okay, now remember, that is p squared. That's p squared. So what are we gonna have to do with that number? Square root it. We have to square root that number. So you should get for p 11.46. When you square root that number, remember, you can hit square root and then second answer, because you got this typed in, so it says 131, then I can square root second answer, and it'll pull that down. You guys with the new calculators, you can just cut and paste it down there. 11.46. All right, are we done with the problem?
No.
No. However, at this point, look here, guys. What have I got now? I got a pair now. I got a set. So what can I do now? Law of sines. So sine 58 over 11.46 equals sine R over 10. Does that make sense to you? So 11.46 sine R equals 10 sine 58. What am I going to divide by? 11.46. And then, aren't I gonna have to second sign my fraction? Why, yes, you are, Mrs. Ford, because you are finding an angle. So second sign, 10 sine 58, 11.46. I got 47.73.
Yep.
And then the really good news is, the only thing left is that angle. But look, don't you have two of them right here? So I don't need to do all this to find the third angle. All I need to do is add these up and subtract from 180. $74.27. Wow, that's a lot. Good news is several more problems to go, we'll be fine. For now, focus on what's happening tomorrow?
Quiz.
What quiz? What's the quiz over?
This
Law
stuff.
of science, right. Do not worry about the law of cosine.